What's up, you guys? Listen, I just got my hair straightened, child. The first time in like 3 years. Can't tell you, girl, nothing. And she trimmed my ends. It took her a little longer than what she thought because my ends were so split. She actually trimmed quite a bit of it off. But I haven't had a trim in I haven't had my hair done by anybody since probably maybe the last time I got it straightened was like 2015. And then after that, the last time I got it done professionally, I mean, it wasn't even professional because the chick didn't even wash my hair. But the last time I let anyone else do it was April of 2018. But yeah, you guys, I went to this lady. Her name is Miss Teresa, and she was out in Carrollwood at Hair Expressions Carrollwood. It's two different ones here in Tampa Bay. So if you need someone who does ethnic hair, you're gonna look up Hair Expressions Carrollwood. And if you're Caucasian, you know, you can look up Hair Expressions of Tampa. But yeah, she did a good job. The salon was really nice. Like, it wasn't, it's owned by, I don't know if it's owned by, but I know it's, the stylists that are in there are two mother and daughter teams, which was awesome because you can tell that both the mothers and the daughters respected one another as well as they respected each group. So that was awesome about it because, like, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you go to like black salons and the oldest black female in the salon, she kind of be a bitch to other people. But this was a great experience because she was a really nice lady to everyone. Bitch, you, oh, let me not cuss like that on here. But yeah, she was really nice to, like, she was nice to everyone. So it wasn't that old tension between the younger stylist and the older stylist. That's what I liked about it. To that mother and daughter. But it was awesome because, let me tell y'all, and I ain't trying to, like, you know, diss the Dominicans, but the Dominican salons that I would go to here in Tampa that had the mother and daughters stylists, they would be loud and they were always arguing. Like Chris Marie on Waters and Sheldon out there in that area. I'm sorry they come across this video, but like them women, they was always arguing, and they would be arguing in Spanish, but I know Spanish, so like they would just be arguing about the silliest of things. Hold on, y'all, this is my baby calling. But yeah, you guys, Chris Marie over on Waters, I'm telling all their business. They be too loud. I ain't gonna lie. Them women be so loud, and then they argue about everything. They argue about if the person should get a deep conditioning or just a shampoo and regular conditioning. They argue if a keratin will help the hair or if they need a relaxer. And yeah, they just be doing too much arguing. I just don't have time for that no more. Like, my nerves be getting bad sitting around listening to people argue like that. But anywho, and that's how a lot of the Dominican salons that I've been to here in Tampa, they like are really loud. Like Sassy Angels on Osborne, those people do the best blowouts. Like, you go there and they get your hair so straight. So I can say that. But they be loud too. Like, they don't be arguing about stuff. They just be extremely loud. And two, they are, both places, they always talk in Spanish, which, you know, I'm bilingual. Like, Spanish is my second language. But I think of all the other people there, like, you in a salon experience for black women, we want to be included, right? Even if we don't have much to say, we still want to be able to know what y'all talking about. So for me, going to a salon and y'all just speaking Spanish, but all of y'all clients are African American English and they only speak English, it's kind of like you don't really get that salon experience that you need, right? Like when I was at the salon today, them women were, you know, we was talking about TV One, 50 Cent, Denzel Washington, Bun, everything like that. And, you know, we all speak the same language, so everybody's talking about the same thing at the same time. Whereas when you go to the Dominican salons, you know, they're going to be speaking in Spanish the entire time and not really talking to you other than to say, you know, sit up, mommy, you know. And I don't mean that in a little derogatory term, because I got a feeling that people will see this video and they'll just be harping on the fact that I said going to the Dominican salons, you know, they'll say, sit up, mommy. That's what they'll mostly, all the time they really be talking to their clients like that. For me, that's been my experience with salons here in Tampa. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all a little bit about the coldest winter ever. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, when the book first came out, I wasn't one of the people who liked the book. Like, wait, let me back up. And when I like I told y'all before in the previous video, I got into urban fiction in middle school, right? And so all the girls was telling me, oh, Britt, you gotta read The Coldest Winter Ever. You gotta read about winter. Winter is my girl, winter is that, I'm winter, and all this and that and third. And I just knew that the book wasn't gonna be all that. Like, I'm telling you, I just knew winter wasn't gonna be some chick that I wanted to be like, or I thought was a bad bitch, or anything like that. And so I read the book in middle school. And I'm like, you know, I don't participate in none of the discussion. Everybody asks me what I think. I say, it's all right. And I leave it at that, right? Because I don't want people trying to argue me down about a book character. That ain't what I'm about. You know, I wasn't about that. Like, I just said, it's all right. It was all right. And I ain't reading no more. Then, jump forward, I decided to read the book again. And at 17, right? My senior year of high school. And I was like, oh, I'm going to see if I feel differently about the book, right? And the first thing I noticed reading the book at 17 was that Winter's mother wasn't given a name. And I don't know how I missed that, because I made sure to read that book twice in middle school to say maybe I was reading ahead. And because, you know, I'm slightly dyslexic. Like, when I'm reading, I'll start at the top of the page, and then I just go to the bottom page, and then I'm like, oh, snap. And I'll read backwards. Like, I don't want to say weird, but it's like a part of my dyslexia. Sorry. But anywho, yeah, so I'm like, how did I miss that the first time I read it? But that was one thing that stuck out to me, was that Winter mother was never given a name in the series, but she was supposed to have been such a bad bitch that throughout the but throughout the book, nobody ever calls that lady by her name. And for some reason, I always thought that her mother's name was Lisa. I don't know why I thought her name was Lisa or Alicia all these years. I thought her mother's that was a later name. And then I believe they revealed it in A Deeper Love Inside. But that book I've only read once, and it literally took me like 3 weeks to finish that book, because we'll get into that in another video. I ain't even finna start talking about that book and get off topic. But yeah, you guys, so that was the first thing that stuck out to me. Then the second thing was how Winter was really ashamed of her mother when her mother was no longer on bad bitch status. Winter didn't want to be seen or associated with her mother, period, because she was no longer the bad bitch that she grew up with knowing, right? So, and also, for all that, Winter's third thing that stuck out to me was her relationship with her father, right? Her father loved her and wanted the best for her, but yet, you know, Winter is 12, 13 years old, and she doesn't even go to school. And, you know, her daddy got her babysitting the kids. And I was just thinking, like, at 17, why the hell Winter not going to school if she 12, 13 years old, talking about she only go to school to shop an outfit? As smart as her dad was, her daddy would have been telling her, right? You know, go to school so you can learn, and you can learn how to beat these people in the boardrooms and stuff like that. That's my thinking at 17. Why didn't her daddy make her go to school? And yeah, so boom, jump ahead, I'm 30, yay! And I'm reading the book as a 30-year-old, and I still don't understand the hype surrounding Winter. And like, it was a hard read for me to finish, but the series I have planned, I plan on making it fun. But it was kind of hard for me to finish, because it was like Winter made stupid mistake after stupid mistake. And my cousin EJ, we was talking about the book, and I said, EJ, I don't understand how this is supposed to be a cautionary tale. Like, Winter didn't learn nothing, and the viewers, like a young girl, when I'm reading the book, I don't even know what I was supposed to learn, like not to get involved with drug dealers. And you know, EJ said that's the tale, you can go to jail. And I'm like, that can't be the tale, because we all know we can go to jail. But I just feel like, I don't know, y'all, it just, reading it even at 30, I'm still trying to figure out what's the story in it, because like, Winter didn't learn. Because even at the end of the book, when Winter thought that Portia, which later, let me not even mention The Deeper Love Inside, but when Winter thought that Portia was going down the same path as her, Winter didn't do nothing. She didn't say nothing. She said that Portia was going to tell her she old, and she only saying that because she in prison. So she didn't even try to warn her sister, who she thought was going down the same route as her, right? So I'm just don't understand what we're supposed to learn from Winter. Like, of course, just don't be stupid like Winter. Of course, look out for your people, right? That's like common sense. That ain't something that Winter needed to teach us. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But Winter was an idiot. I don't care what nobody say. Winter was an idiot. Winter was not a bad bitch. Like, Winter didn't have no kind of she didn't have any skill sets. Or no, let me say that bad. She knew how to do nails and she could do hair. Like, she was really big into cosmetics, but Winter didn't have the business sense, and she wasn't business savvy. I like that word, that term, as you would think she is, right? Like, reading this at 30, it's like, Winter, you know, your hustle could have been you going into one of the shops that's already established and doing, I don't know, I ain't even gonna say that, because a lot of sisters nowadays, they don't even work in shops, you know, they don't work in shops alongside other people, you know, they run their own shops or whatever. But I was just saying, like, Winter, for as business savvy as she was just stupid. Like, there was nothing appealing to me about wanting to be Winter. So when I see girls, like when Sista Souljah said that girls come up to her and say that she is Winter or whatever, and I believe she said she either weep for him, or maybe that Maya Angelou said she weep for the children of today. I forget. But yeah, like, I'm like, why would you want to be Winter? Winter was stupid. Winter made me mad because she didn't go and see about her sister's Mercedes and Lexus. She saw Porsche once, and she only saw her mother like once more. And then the night that she saw her mother, and her mother was strung out on the streets, she was going to pretend like she didn't even know that lady until that lady said that she had letters from her dad, and that's when she decided to call herself Go and get those letters from her mother. And it is just so amazing that Winter was feeling like that. Then another thing, right? This turned into a rant. I was supposed to be telling y'all about my reaction, but this is my reaction at 30. Another thing that I didn't like at 17, nor did I like reading about at 30, right, was, I know, like, you know, this topic of colorism comes up a lot nowadays, right? And we always talk about light skin and dark skin. And we always, and I think another girl made a video, or either it was a tweet and somebody made a video, I forget. But another girl mentioned how all the characters in urban literature, urban fic, was always, I'm gonna call it literature. I don't want to like do them a disservice by calling it urban literature, because we're not gonna call, you know, Terry McMillan, Alice Walker African American fic. We're gonna call it African American literature. So I'm gonna call it urban literature. But yeah, they said that the characters were always light skin or light brown or brown caramel or red bone with long curly hair or whatever, and that was just that shape. And I ain't, be honest with y'all, I ain't really had no issue with that description of the women. I ain't really had no issue with that description of the women, because even when I read like Harry Potter, I'm Harry Potter in the store, so like I don't know, I just ain't never really had no issue with it. But now that I'm a little older, the issue that I have with it overall is that with Winter's description, she was marketed to black girls, and she's supposed to be a black girl, but it seems like Winter, and it seemed like Sista Souljah wrote the book for, how do I put it in turn? It seems like Winter, her mother and her daddy was supposed to be Hispanic, you know, because they got the last name of Santiago, but they living around black people and they identified, I don't know, but that's just what I get. Like, was Winter Hispanic, Hispanic or not? Like, I could never put that together. Like, why is she being marketed to black girls and she's, you know, she Hispanic and all that kind of stuff? I don't know, because his little side chick was Hispanic as well. But yeah, you guys, and yeah, she never saw about them. And then, you know, when things go down, Winter jets, she don't even go and see about her dad initially like that, like she, right? So hold on, this is my girlfriend, let me decline her call. But yeah, she doesn't go and see about her dad the way you would think she does, but she claims she loves her daddy oh so much, but she doesn't even go and see about that man. And then another thing, but you know, I might, when I do the video, I'm gonna break down that Spanish last name. Like, the Spanish last name, I don't have a problem with it, but it just felt like to me like they wanted us to see ourselves in this and a Latina, but marketed to black girls and says it's a cautionary tale for black girls. But you know, she was supposed to be Latina. That was something that I couldn't figure out as a child, nor could I figure out as now, right? Because it seemed like Winter, her mom and her dad was Hispanic, but all of their family was supposed to have been just black. It might be just me, and maybe I'm just not saying it in the way that I'm trying to get it to come out to you guys. But, you know, yeah, for all that she talked about, she loved her dad and her dad was everything to her. She didn't even go and see about that man. Excuse me. she didn't even go see about her dad from the time he got locked up. And when she knew that that was her little brother, she didn't even try to get in touch with that lady to talk to her little brother. And the only reason she called that lady was to get some money up out. The lady I'm talking about is her daddy little side chick that had Ricky Santiago Jr. The only reason she called that lady was she was trying to get some money. And that was another thing I couldn't figure out was Winter. Why was Winter trying to get money unless it was for an attorney? But she just said that she was trying to get the money. That wasn't made clear to us. But yeah, Winter was selfish as hell. Like, soon as the stuff hit the fan, let me go back to that. Sorry, y'all, I'm bouncing around. Soon as things hit the fan, Winter go and stays with Sterling and try to act like she still got it all. She don't want nobody to know that she doesn't got it because she don't look down on everybody all these years or whatever, right? Excuse me. She's looked down on everybody all the years. And when she finally goes back home, her aunt asks her for a couple of dollars. Which to me, it was nothing wrong with her auntie asking her for a couple of dollars, right? To since Winter little yamp ass stand there, and finally when the truancy officer came and got Winter little ass, that's what she asked her auntie about. Did she send any money? And her auntie done gooped the ass and said, nah, as far as I know, ain't nobody in this house have no money. I thought that was the funniest thing ever, right? But yeah, when she come around, when she calling everybody, her best friend knows that her whole family has been knocked off, right? Because the projects has been high. Winter grew up in the projects, but her best friend knows that everything has been high. But Winter's still on the phone talking about, oh, let me go. They about to throw put a ticket on my Lexus. Like, she's still trying to hold on to this facade that she's built up in her mind all these years. And we're not even keeping it real. People talking about they about to throw a damn ticket on her car. Girl, you ain't even got no car. They all know you've been knocked off or whatever. But then, you know, she ends up going to this home and she meets Sista Souljah. And my whole issue with her meeting Sista Souljah, like, I don't really mind when characters, like, when writers, write themselves into the novels, but you got to make it make sense for me, right? And I just felt like the Sista Souljah character was an exaggerated version, and that works on TV, but from my experience, it doesn't work the same when you're reading. It doesn't translate well when we're reading an exaggerated form of the author versus watching them on TV, right? So like how Rick Fox was an exaggerated version of himself on the game, that worked, right? But with Trophy Wife by Ashley and Jaquavis, as well as with, like I said, Coldest Winter Ever, it didn't work when they wrote themselves in the stories. For me, it didn't work, right? So, but for other people it may, but just for me it didn't work, right? But anywho, her meeting Sista Souljah, she didn't like even really try the way she could have while she was with that lady. Like, my thinking is Winter was supposed to be a hustle. Like, Sista Souljah was a hustle, and she didn't even hustle the way she should have been. Like, she just had her thinking was all freaking wrong. But hopefully that new book, Life After Death, gives us what we were looking for. But I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't plan on reading that book. Like, I don't plan on reading it because I feel like Sista Souljah's writing has evolved. Like, I seen on Lipstick Alley, which Trash Stick Alley, where they were saying that people felt like she had a ghostwriter for the Coldest Winter Ever because her works was so much, her subsequent works were so different from, you know, her debut novel. But I'm like, it wasn't that different. Like, if you read her No Disrespect, her writing the way she wrote when she did Midnight 1, 2, and 3 wasn't that surprising because, you know, I read No Disrespect, so I was expecting her writing to be what it was in the Midnight series or whatever, right? So I will say though, I do think that she but at the same time, no, let me say, I feel like she fantasized a lot. I don't know, I think that she made Midnight and Portia and all the characters that she wrote out the Winter like too unbelievable, because I feel like maybe people are Winters in real life, but she made Portia and Midnight just too unbelievable. And I guess, like I said, that was a combat what she wrote with Winter or whatever. But yeah, you know, but I said all that to say I be doing that, like when me and my lover be talking, I'll go on to a subtopic and then I have to rewrite why did I even bring up that subject. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna read Life After Death because I feel like her writing has evolved to a point that it no longer fits my reading palette, right? Because the Midnight trilogy as well as The Deeper Love Inside, like I didn't really like that like those at all. So I feel like it'll probably be the same thing, right? So I'm not gonna read Life After Death because I just don't want to be disappointed. Like, I feel like I am, because I feel like with the not Coldest Winter, but with Midnight, I think a lot of Black American women were disappointed in Midnight character because Winter made him seem like he was such a great guy. But I'm being honest with y'all, at 17, even at 30, reading those letters between Midnight and Sista Souljah, Midnight was a jerk to me. He was a jerk. He was a douche. He was one of them guys who make women feel like they should be, who make women feel like they should be lucky that he's even insulting them, right? That's what kind of character guy Midnight was. Like, he's one of those type of guys who, if you take a picture of him, but like, let's see if you know how to take this picture right. It's like, boy, what? Why you even had to say that, right? He was a jackass. He was a douche. So I didn't think Midnight was sexy. Reading them letters between him and Sista Souljah, he wasn't sexy. And I said that to say, like, I don't think Midnight liked Black American women, to me. And the way he talked about us, like, he talked about us so bad throughout all three of his books. He real life put Black women down. But you know, that's Midnight thing. That's his thing or whatever. But yeah, I couldn't read no more of that stuff because he talked about us, but he loved the way we style our clothes. And it was that whole argument, you know, Black Americans don't have any culture. That BS was going on. So you can say that Sista Souljah was ahead of her time when she wrote the first two Midnights, right? But yeah, Midnight had that thing always talking about Islam and his love for Islam and everything like that. But yeah, you sold drugs, whatever. But yeah, so that's why I don't think I'm gonna read I don't think I'm gonna read Life After Death. If I do, like I'm telling y'all now, it'll probably be a library borrow because I don't want that in my collection. Like, honestly, I don't even have Coldest Winter ever in my collection. That was a library borrow because I just said that's not a book that I would want, like, the girls in my family to read and think that Winter was a good person. You know, they can read that when they get a little older, because when I was in middle school, you know, it was kind of disheartening to see all them girls, like, real life feel like they was Winter and wanted to be Winter. Like, she wasn't no bad bitch. She could dress, and, you know, she was pretty on the outside, but on the inside, Winter was an idiot. And I just wouldn't want any girls to think that that was the right place to the right person to be. But I don't know, maybe it is a cautionary tale, but I just don't really see the cautionary tale in the way that the story was. I don't know, maybe it is a cautionary tale not to be pretty and not to have a pretty face and an empty mind. But yeah, I just couldn't root for Winter ignorance like that. Well, anyway, you guys, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. And hopefully, maybe I'll come back here and record something with y'all in a little bit. I just pulled over the West Shore Mall. I hope I find something well, y'all, because I want to be snatched for my little lover. But anyway, that's it. See you guys in the next video. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all thoughts. If y'all read that book, if you're my age, or you're a 90s or 80s baby, and you read that book in high school or middle school, and you read the book now, let me know if your thoughts are different now than what they was back then. Because a lot of chicks I be talking to, like, they still love, like, they don't you know, they don't think no differently about the book. The only person who think differently about the book is my mom. But my mom, you know, when I first read the book, she was like, Brittany, that book ain't even no good. Winter's stupid. Don't that's what she said when I was reading, you know, Winter was stupid. She didn't really say that, but now she says that, you know, she didn't like Winter from the jump either. But yeah, I don't really see people saying how ignorant Winter was, but a few selects. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you guys are going to be reading Life After Death, and let me know your thoughts on it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.